Brought over from the Philippines at the age of 12. He's a critic, to put it mildly, of Trump's immigration orders, and he joins us now from Mountain View in California. Jose, it's great to see you tonight. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Actually, I'm in Mountain View, which is where I grew up. This is where I came from the Philippines when I was 12.
In Mountain View, yeah. Mountain View, very nice town. Good for you. Good choice of town. So you came over, you said, at 12, and I was thinking about that. I've talked to you many times about this kind of thing. But I thought, what would happen if I showed up in the Philippines as a non-citizen there illegally and started saying, hey, Philippines, I hate your immigration policy. And by the way, I think you're racist for not liking me. And I think maybe I'll file some lawsuits or support other people filing lawsuits against you and, just sort of be quiet and accept my illegal presence. How would they respond to me, do you think?
Well, first of all, I was 12, so I'm not quite sure I would be asking those questions. The decision was made for me. And I think what's really interesting here, too, is, as you probably know, the relationship between the Philippines and the United States, right? The Philippines was a protectorate of the United States, like Puerto Rico, right? I mean, that's why there's more than 4 million Filipinos in the United States. We're the second largest Asian American group in this country because there's a connection between the two countries.
For sure.
So I think it's an interesting relationship, and I think
it is, and a very old one, and a very noble one also.
And
I would say.
I have to say, by the way, as someone who's
you're
been
not
on
answering
Fox
my
News
question.
a lot, no, my answer to your question is, as a 12-year-old, I'm not quite sure I would ask those questions. I was not. It was not on my own volition to come here. I was sent
Of course, it wasn't.
Right?
But you're not 12 now, and you're making the case in effect that the U.S. doesn't have a right to say to people who are here illegally, you're not allowed to be here.
Right. Wait a second. No. The country has a right to define and defend its borders. Absolutely. Any modern country has a right to do that. But at the same time, we have a right to ask harder questions of ourselves about why are people even coming here? Tucker, do you think I came to this country so you can beat me up and call me illegal and criminal on national television? Why are people even coming here? Tucker, do you think I came to this country so you can beat me up and call me illegal and criminal on national television? Do you think that's what I want? Don't you think if I could fix... Well, I mean, I'm just saying, when you call me illegal,
you're a gentle soul,
when you call people criminals, no, I mean, look, the words matter here. Words matter here. And,
I believe that.
I mean, look, how do you legalize people you call illegal? You don't. You call them illegal. End of conversation, right?
Well, it's not the end of the conversation. And by the way, I mean, look, you're arguing something that contradicts itself. You're saying a country has a right to have laws about who can be here and who cannot. And you're simultaneously arguing that people here illegally should not be referred to as being here illegally or illegal.
Because
and I don't really understand what you are.
Wait a second. Being here illegally, being here without documentation and authorization is a civil offense and not a criminal
Okay, whatever. It's still against the law. I mean, what's your point?
Wait a second, Tucker. Almost half of the people who are here illegally actually came legally and overstayed their visa, right? They didn't cross the Mexican border. And I have to say, to me, the hardest
questions like non sequiturs.
Okay. No, these are facts, Tucker. The problem is you don't actually operate in facts. You don't.
I'm actually not contesting. I'm not. Oh, hold on. No, but let me just say, no name calling here. I'm not contesting those as facts.
I'm not calling you names. What did I just call you?
I'm merely
I'm a journalist. I operate in facts. You're a pundit.
Got that.
There's a difference between the two.
Yeah, I can tell. So, but here's my question to you. What does that have to do with anything? You're not answering my question, which is, if a country has a right to, if a country has a right to determine who is here and under what circumstances, what are you arguing about? If you're agreeing that a country has a right to determine who has a right to be here, then what's the argument? If you're here illegally, we have a right to tell you to leave, right? What am I missing?
Yes, you do. But wait a second. But why am I here? Why do people come here? Right? What are the root causes of migration? What does U.S. foreign policy and trade agreements have to do with migration patterns? How did NAFTA impact not only the United States, but Mexico? Right? These are the harder questions.
I get your argument. Oh, this is the new argument on the left, which is America has no moral standing to say people can't come here because we've done so many bad things that we deserve the illegal immigration we get.
I'm not going to fall into this whole. I'm not going to fall into this bad thing. I am just trying to make sure that we must be fully aware of our own history. I thought that statement from the African Union was really interesting, right? Like, wait a second, so slaves had to build America, but we can't accept refugees? Right?
What, I mean, that's a valid question. You claim to be a journalist. Maybe you could explain, since you're in the explaining business,
well,
what does
Tucker,
that mean?
I have a Pulitzer.
Because, no, hold on.
I actually won a part of a Pulitzer, so I am actually a journalist.
Well, then I'm highly impressed. But because you were a journalist, you're in the business of explaining things. Tell me why, because the United States, like many countries around the world, once had slavery, a grave sin, it doesn't have a right to control who comes across its borders, or it has no right to tell people you can't be here?
I already agreed with you.
Unpack it for me.
Wait a second. Tucker, thank you. I absolutely agree with you that a country has a right to define and defend its borders. At the same time...
What does slavery have to do with this? What are you saying?
Well, why are people here? That was forced migration of people who built
But nobody
this
is
country.
contesting the right of African Americans to be. I don't know. What is your point? I don't understand. You're throwing, well, America's bad, we had slavery. I agree, that's bad, but what does that have to do with illegal immigration?
Okay. Tucker, you're confused because you don't deal with context. You're confused because I don't think you even really realize the full history and trust of the history of this country. We are here because you were there.
But tell me why it's significant. Tell me what it means. What are you saying, I guess is the point. You're throwing some stuff out. This is not a class. People expect a rational argument from you. And what is it?
What I'm saying is there are reasons why people are coming here. Yes, the country has a right to define and defend its borders. But we need to ask the harder questions of why are they even coming here, Tucker? Like, look,
okay, so I'm asking the question, why are they coming here? But what does that mean? Does that mean that if we answer the question, the answer is we don't have a right to tell them not to come? What? No, we're almost out of time. Just tell me what you're saying. Do we have a right or not?
Tucker, here's one answer. You put a sign outside the U.S.-Mexico border that says keep out, then 10 yards in, what do you say? Job wanted. This is a country addicted to cheap labor. Always has been. By the way, that's the connection between slavery and what we have now. So while you're trying to criminalize these people, what do you do to all these American employers who are addicted to cheap labor?
The really simple answer is the employers want low-wage immigration. They do. You're absolutely right about that.
Absolutely,
and a lot of other American citizens who aren't benefiting from that or seeing their wages undercut by it aren't in favor of it. So,
well,
but what does that have to do?
Like you're talking,
I don't get your
you're
point.
talking to somebody.
Employers are for it, we have to have it? Like, listen to yourself.
You're talking to somebody, by the way, who's an undocumented entrepreneur who employs people. I employ 14 U.S. citizens in this country.
I want to go to the Philippines and brag about being illegal and see how long I stay out of jail. Maybe you can come with me. We'll try it. Let's say we're out of time.
Am I bragging? Am I bragging here? I'm just stating facts,
You're definitely bragging.
No, I am stating facts.
Facts. It's a fact.